is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm
Oh,
married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Yeah.
All right.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Ooh, what
That's
does
coming
that
up.
mean?
That means, drum roll. Starting this Sunday, it's Die Hard December.
Those are symbols.
That's how we'll introduce episode 126.
127? Because wasn't 126?
That was 125 and a half.
Are you sure it wasn't?
You said to make it 125.5 is what you said.
Was it 125? I thought it was 126.
This
Are we
is
on
one-
126?
This is 126.
Okay. I'm Tyler.
I'm Jake. And we still know how to intro the show.
We're still off panel, off topic. Getting down with Michael McDonald.
lay it
Oh, getting down, man. Yeah, but no,
I'll do you one better.
welcome to the show and our hilarious. Oh, fuck you! Hijinks.
We said we were going to try to stop swearing, and then I
Well,
played that
shit.
drop.
Well, shit. So Die Hard December is fun. Tell us more.
So, this Sunday, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st, we will be covering Die Hard movies. We're not doing number 5. All right?
No.
No A Good Day to Die Hard. That's out. But it'll be Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder,
I still,
Die Hard with a Vengeance,
This is really funny. And what was the last? What's the
Live
fourth
Free
one?
or Die Hard.
It's really funny because when Die Hard was a really big, a big deal when it first came out, there were people who were there was kind of a joke. I don't know who originated it, but the joke was that Die Hard 2 would be called Die Harder, which makes no sense.
And it is this.
And of course, sure enough,
But we'll talk about that when we get to it. But
Art
just,
imitating life.
Just telling you guys that that'll be coming your way. Some bonus content
tease. That's what's
on
called
our
a tease
YouTube
in
channel.
the biz.
Off panel, off topic.
Because we both work in
Cheese.
cheese. We both love cheese.
We're like a bunch of Swiss cheese.
We go to work,
Full
we
of
put on
holes.
these full waiters, and we work in offices full of shredded cheese.
Tyler, what do you want to talk about today? Well, let's
Shredded cheese.
direct it towards Deadpool 3.
Let's do it.
And more of a broader topic. I'm getting real upset with Twitter, as always. Mostly because of the people I follow.
Yep.
I get a lot of scoops.
Do you do for you or following?
It's for you. I should stick to following because the for you is where I get all the
Really? Okay.
bad stuff, like
Yeah.
spoiling some stuff that might have been cool to see
Well,
in
it's
a theater.
It's based off who you follow, so then,
I know.
We all know how the algorithms work, and the more people you follow, the more similar whatever.
But I swear, it really is, and we talked about this before, there really is a level of just spoiling crap constantly, and I
Yeah.
don't understand it. I just, why don't people want to be surprised by things? Like, first
yeah.
of all, it's bad enough they announce things in advance because they're publicly traded companies, so they want to get out there like, oh, this movie star is playing this character,
Mhm.
Like, it would be more fun for it to be more of a surprise.
When
Yeah, it's just...
So there wasn't really a lot of spoiler. I mean, there was
Do you know what I'm talking about?
absolutely, but the internet has created this spoiler kind of.
Can we just say it? You know what? If you don't want this spoiled, a potential
Right.
spoiler.
Pizza time.
Yeah,
One more time. Potential
Pizza time.
but
spoilers now.
when the first Star Wars, what was it called? The first
Phantom Menace.
no the episode
The original-
7, I guess.
Oh,
episode 7.
just Star Wars.
No, the
New Hope.
J.J. Abrams.
Oh, Force Awakens.
I know you can't see it, but I just rolled my eyes so hard I sprained my neck.
This is the second episode we've recorded this week, and this is the second time you've talked about J.J. Abrams. Leave it alone, man.
When that movie was coming out that December, we all
Oh
knew.
my god.
No. All year long, I worked with a guy named Alan, and he actually does movie reviews. He's really cool. We should put that Twitter up somewhere, or see if he wants to do a review of our show. It sucks.
One
Thanks,
star.
man. 1 star out
Half
of
a star.
90.
I think that you can't even get a half star.
I don't think so. Oh, I can get a half star if I want to.
What does that
I know a guy.
I'll get you.
I had a
I can get you a half star by the end of the night.
I can get. Hey, dude! I can get you a pinky toe. Hell, I can get you one with.
I need that drop.
Yeah. Just for this conversation.
Pew pew quip.
But all year long, like, we kept talking about different things like that we thought would happen, and I revealed to him at one point. I was like, I don't know. Usually, I'm not into spoilers, but all year so far, it was probably the summertime at that point, and I was like, all year so far, every time I see something about spoilers for Force Awakens, I open it and I read it. I can't help myself, and that was the last time that I like really spoiled myself, I guess, or sought it out. My Twitter feed is generally like hashtag recovery posse, because that's kind of my shit, and also for like musicians.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a lot of entertainment people that I follow. And then the other thing too is that I used to go to those websites, cbr.com and comic book.
It's just comic book news. Like, I think it's just comic book.
Something.
There's
There's a couple of them.
Comicbook.com.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are very similar in tone and very whatever, and they're pretty, whatever. And I used to really like that stuff, but I don't know why. I just don't anymore. I just don't go to those. I'm on Twitter more, I guess. So I don't.
Oh, I get it spoiled on Twitter all the time.
I'm not in the way, but like I said,
But
my For You and my following is way different than yours.
I think we've danced around it long enough. So if you've been staying with us this long, we can talk about it. If you,
don't spoil it for me.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
Deadpool 3?
No.
See, this is the part where I wish I had. I wish I had a beep button on deck so I could just beep myself in real time. Because now I'm gonna have to spoil this. Because I thought you knew about this. I sent you the rundown. So we're gonna talk about this.
Okay, well, I read the rundown. I didn't. I must.
I don't
not,
put anything of what the spoiler is. It's
okay,
implied.
see, that's what I thought. Oh, it's a plot point.
I don't know what it is.
Well, just tell me.
The set photos are apparently that Sabretooth is in it. And
that's nothing to
like
me.
his head is
okay.
Wolverine chops his head off.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's
like,
it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me like Galactus showed up or some shit.
No.
Which would be fucking
But
cool.
still, I would have liked to have seen that in the movie.
Right.
And I kind of like that they're alluding to his original design in the first movie instead of the Liam Schreiber version, which I will say Liam Schreiber is very good in that movie.
Yeah, he's great.
Hugh Jackman,
just the design
Jackman
of
and Liam Schreiber deserved a better movie.
yes.
Because the movie wasn't bad because of them. They did the best that they could with what they had. Those two on screen were the best together on the screen.
Did
were
you
the
know
best part
Liam
about
Schreiber
that.
is
And that
married
is-
to Naomi Watts?
But you know what would have been cool to see in that Deadpool movie? That happen and not potentially get it spoiled.
What a power couple.
Who?
Naomi Watts. Did you know that he's married to her?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fucking thanks.
Fucking thanks, fuckface.
Nice.
Said, hey, let's try
What were we
not
talking about
swear
swearing?
as much. You can't censor me.
Fart.
I'm gonna start beeping you
All right.
in real time. Beep. Try that again.
Well, fuck. Wait, let's try
It's
it.
always late.
let's
It never
try it.
hits it.
Let's try it again. Son of a bitch. What the hell was that?
I was trying to reverse.
Shit.
I was trying to reverse you.
Shit.
You know you could do that.
In a rap song. Yo, I was rolling down the street.
Whenever I had to edit songs, I would always do that. I would always put it in reverse instead of put space.
See, I just don't edit myself in my songs. I have no desire
when
to be
I
on
had
mainstream
to edit
radio.
songs,
I mean, I do,
is what I was
and I
saying.
can edit a
Not
song.
me personally.
No, I know. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Oh, you heard me?
Nice.
We already did that one.
Sorry. Nobody's gonna listen to this show, and if anybody gets mad, off topic is in the name. I'm just gonna say it because I was trying to talk about the Sabretooth thing still, and then
So
Naomi Watts.
more than anything,
Who's Naomi Watts?
really, she was in The Ring.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She's been in
I know.
Mulholland.
Should
Was
have
it
just said
Mulholland
the
Drive?
ring. Say less. I know.
Oh, sorry. My favorite
It's okay,
role she
buddy.
was in was I Heart
you.
Huckabees. Underrated movie. Do you ever seen that?
Not a fan.
What?
Not a fan of that
You-
movie.
Really?
Sabretooth, man. We're back to
You're
Deadpool
not a
3.
fan of I Heart Huckabees? It's hilarious. Dude, literally ends with Mark Wahlberg getting hit in the face
Hey,
with a
bro.
Yeah.
I'm in I Heart Huckabees. I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'd like to think
I
if he
fucking
ever
love
heard
your
this,
Mark-
he would beat the shit out of me in real life. We're off the trail. The main
Sabretooth.
thing I wanted to take from this whole thing with Deadpool 3 was, which
And we're back.
I feel like I should edit that whole chunk out of the well, at least in the video, not the
No.
pod. You got to deal with it. You're 126
Listen,
episodes.
you know what you
in.
signed in
You know what
on.
this shit is.
We never get from point A. We never get from point A to
Don't
point
make me
B.
do it. I will.
Okay.
Get your ass to Mars.
So anyway, Sabretooth.
Oh yeah. No, the main topic that I really wanted to pull from it was the idea of like, again, why are we in this era of such scoop clickbait fucking spoiler culture? And like it's frustrating because
in the violent
well, what I think is most frustrating, I want to put a bow on that. And my whole thing is like what's frustrating for me, and we've talked about it. My last two theater experiences have really put me in a spot where I am where a lot of Americans are, and I think a lot of people around the world are, where it's like
fuck movies.
the movie theater is too expensive now for a lot of people.
And then we have to wait 40 minutes after the said time.
When my son can finally go to see movies, it's gonna end up probably being around $40 to $50 for like snacks, tickets, all of that. And
Our 2 tickets was 20.
I
taxes
think
and shit.
I think a lot of the joy of movie theaters is getting sucked out of it for me when you spend so long doing these advertisements. So when I don't see a movie fucking opening weekend because I don't want to, because I'm like, I can just wait for this to be on HBO Max. I could just wait for this to be on Disney
in
Plus.
a couple fucking weeks.
Like 45 days.
A lot of stuff still
But
goes
if
to
I
streaming
happen to fucking
the
open
same
Twitter,
day it goes on in the theaters.
I get stuff spoiled. And there's a time for spoilers, in my opinion. I think about a year should be enough, or a couple months. After it's been out on Blu-ray and streaming, I feel like you can start spoiling.
See, nobody spoiled what you were talking
Anyway,
about Endgame.
I
but-
went on a long diatribe. What were
No,
you
but
gonna say?
nobody spoiled. Nobody spoiled.
Neither
Captain America getting Mjolnir. Nobody spoiled that. I remember very distinctly. It was cool as shit, and I didn't know about it.
And
I still didn't know about it 3 weeks later. If I had never gone to see the movie, I wouldn't have known about it because I still didn't see
you know
anything.
what my
about
favorite part was?
What?
When Tom Holland's Spider-Man showed up in Endgame, and
Yeah.
he caught the gauntlet, and I was like,
Video
whip,
games.
swing the web.
it. Wow.
But no,
But in
Infinity,
the
Infinity
trip-
War and Endgame, nobody said anything.
Yes.
Like we all agreed. These are the movies we are not going to spoil, and we're gonna give a decent amount
Well, look,
of time before we talk about
I
spoilers.
didn't get spoiled about the end credits of the Marvels.
I did.
I didn't.
So I mean, people
I'm
suck.
thinking you just need to change your algorithm. But
I do.
but-
I do.
but-
my point is, I shouldn't
You're
have
right.
to tailor my
hang on,
experience, like
but
my Twitter to that.
based on what you're talking about, that is something
should
you
mark
should
this
do
shit.
to help. But one thing is that in the violent and often turbulent landscape of
I was trying to distract you to work. Sorry.
fucking douche. I thought you were going like
Well,
an
I was just
earthquake.
saying, I got
like
I was saying I
violent,
had a point
turbulent.
after you, and I
The
fucked up.
landscape of internet news, whatever that is, fucking who knows.
Entertainment news is weird.
Well, listen, here's the other
Weird
thing is that, there's a couple of websites that have kind of weathered the times and are still around and have been around for a while. But every so often, every couple months, a new one pops up and another one dies. And that's just the way it is. And in this, jumping from job to job to job, freelance, the way it is set up for freelancing, you have a lot of people jumping from place to place, and that doesn't allow these places to thrive. CBR.com is one that I talked about. It's been around for a long time, and it's pretty respected because they've been able to set the structure of the place where they get freelancers, but there's also a structure on top. There's a leadership structure. And a lot of what you're talking about is people are trying to get the scoop for their own site.
So they can get featured in something.
Especially if they ain't got shit on their site. They ain't got no traffic on their site. Ooh, but wait, I got the scoop about this.
Yep.
Bam, my site is all of a sudden I got 100,000 visitors today. Okay? And that's a problem. And whether you like it or not, back in the day when you had like newspapers, like each city had a newspaper and whatnot, that was kind of good because obviously it was bad because, only a select few controlled the flow of news and whatnot. But it was good in the respect that you had a place to turn to for the news. Oftentimes it was wrong and distorted and written by rich assholes, and that's why we're in the fucking quagmire we are today.
Giggity.
But again, it's clickbaity and it sucks, but
yeah, well, and I think
it's just the world we live in, man.
All I'm saying is I think more sites like Reddit, I think, handle spoilers pretty well. Because, like, usually if it's a spoiler, it's in a subreddit that, yes, is tied to your algorithm. But most of the time, in a lot of subreddits, the spoiler is a tag and it blurs the image. So you don't see it unless you actively click on it, which I wish Twitter would have. Like, I wish there were spoiler tags in Twitter, so, like, if I want to be spoiled, I can. But
you know
you're
what
right.
I wish Twitter didn't have? Racists.
That's
Thanks, Elon. You fuck.
I either get spoilers or I get Nazis. There's no in between.
I'm changing.
And you know what?
I'm changing my long box.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now.
Yes.
That is the most honest interpretation of the internet right there. Either spoilers or
Or Nazis.
In between, porn. That's that.
Porn and video games.
Because there is porn on Twitter. So.
And you know what? Thank God for all the gamer girls who have turned porn and video games into into synergy. Thanks.
What a time to be alive.
I don't know why you did that, but and in fact, I'm not watching the game at all. I'm watching. You're sitting there naked playing your game. I also don't watch those videos because that's kind of boring. Just watching a naked person play video games. Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of boring.
All right. Tyler, let's talk about some more Marvel news.
Let's do it.
News. Spider-Man Noir is going forward. I think we talked about it on the show before.
Is it a cartoon?
It's live action.
Okay.
Which is strange.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, this is going to be produced for Amazon Prime.
Okay.
But Sony, like, it sounds exciting. I'm interested in this.
Sure.
And it's funny enough, when we talked about Madam Web, I said you could make it, because I think I must have, because I originally thought this.
Somebody at Prime was listening.
Well, I thought this was animated, so I was kind of surprised when it was live action, but that's also, when we talked about Madam Web, I said, make a fucking Spider-Man Noir movie. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Web.
it is going forward. It's going to be. They've got a new co-showrunner. It's Steve Lightfoot.
Okay.
He worked on Netflix's The Punisher.
Mm.
And the show. This is where I'm like, damn it, Sony, you had something good and you ruined it. It was right there.
What?
The show will be in its own universe, and Spider-Man will not be Peter Parker. So,
In Spider-Man Noir comics, is he Peter Parker?
yes.
So.
And he doesn't get bit by a radioactive spider. It's like a totem thing. It's kind of weird. It's like a god totem. It kind of ties in with, damn it, what's that arc? It's the arc where he's in the cocoon. The Host? No. It's a Todd McFarlane arc.
Parasite.
Either way,
I don't know.
it's something in the lore. But I just the whole point of it
The
was
Spider God.
Yeah, I just don't like it being like it has to be distinctly. It won't be. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal that it's not
No,
Peter
I
Parker,
mean-
but it's like,
But who's it gonna be?
why change it? Like it's fine the way it is.
Maybe they're afraid that audiences are too stupid to understand that.
It
Like,
has to be they're too afraid because DC is fine doing that because we're still getting a Joker 2. We're getting the Batman Part 2. Like DC's fine having like weird, odd things over here. Like Sony, just either they go too weird in the wrong direction, or they don't go weird enough with this.
it's too bad that nobody in Marvel. There's nobody like at Sony that's like keeping the legacy of Marvel in place. You know what I mean? Like Sony owns Spider-Man, and they can do whatever they want with Spider-Man.
They're trying, but here's the thing. I think business-wise, they're like, if we build enough of this Spider-Verse that we have now, where not enough of it is Peter Parker, that we could give up the rights to Peter Parker back to the MCU, because they're not going to touch Tom Holland's Spider-Man without MCU, without Feige talking to them, and back,
Well, they have a contract. That's the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, like, I feel like they're kind of built with this not being Peter Parker, with doing
Right.
all this stuff, and
But why do you have to?
you know what I mean? It's just why else make? You're only making a Madam Web movie to keep the rights.
Right. Yeah.
You're only making a fucking Morbius movie to keep the rights.
Morbid time.
Craven. We already talked about this ad nauseum. We know what they're doing.
You could make Craven such a badass, like
Narratively,
show.
I don't. If that, I'm honestly fine with it. I'm fine with it not being Peter Parker.
Yeah, I don't care.
But it's. I don't know. It's. Just,
I guess why is just my question. Why?
because again, I think it's the idea of making Spider-Man this multiversal. Like keep trying so hard to make him a multiversal character.
Great, fantastic.
When
And
reality,
why is it on Prime?
But I just wanted to stay. Well, because Sony, they'll go wherever. Like
Sony doesn't really have a streaming service.
They have
Hey,
stars, but who wants to pay for stars?
where's the boo? Fuck you on there. You know that's what we need. Go away, stars. Go away, Showtime. Go the fuck away.
At least Showtime, they were smart to put that with Paramount Plus.
Sure, but I don't care because you still have to pay extra. Fuck you, and fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck
That's
you.
enough. We said stop.
Damn it.
We said stop swearing.
It's way, way late in the show. Way after
Dude,
somebody.
we're gone. We can't restart now. We're on our second topic.
I'm saying that anybody listening to our show to see if we swear too much wouldn't make it this far. They'd listen to the first 10 minutes and decide, yes, we swear too much.
Great.
Fuck.
No, if narratively, I don't mind it working, on its own, but it's just, I'm in a weird place where I'm such a nitpicky fan because I'm like, make a Spider-Man Noir movie, but at the same time, I'm like, well, why are we doing it this way? Like, I think a lot of it is like,
If you used like a
cares, dude?
really
If it's not-
distinctive art style, you could make a really kick-ass animated Spider-Man Noir movie. You know what I mean? Like, just use a really distinctive art
which
style.
makes me interested.
Bring Nicolas
but
Cage
you know
back.
what makes me interesting? It makes this interesting because like the Spider-Man Noir comic is great. I love that arc, and
Never read it.
I'm realizing in real time of like this idea of like who gives a shit if it's not Peter Parker? I don't care. I was just saying, give me a Spider-Man Noir thing.
I have
They're like, here it
Spider-Man,
is, but
yeah.
we're doing it this way.
And you're
No!
like, no, I wanted it
Put
green,
Peter-
not red.
Oh man, I'm the grift. Where's woke Santa?
Oh no! Well, he's upstairs.
Oh,
God
but
dang
woke
it.
Santa's gonna yell at me.
Woke Santa. Well, I think everybody should be included. Ah!
Dang it, you're right, woke Santa.
Damn it, woke Santa. You have us over a barrel.
Be better.
Be better. Be better, boys.
He's right. I'm part of the problem. Who cares if it's not Peter Parker?
Yeah, I don't really care that much. I have a Spider-Man Noir minifigure.
I love that arc, and I really hope they go for the like Dick Tracy.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It literally tells a story of like what if Peter Parker turned into Spider-Man in like the 30s like pulp era.
Yeah.
comic
I get the
books,
gist of it,
which is
but-
fun, and it's
sure.
really fun.
It
And
seems like it was popular.
I would prefer it animated because you could do like a really cool black and white, like very stylistic art
That's
style.
what I'm talking about. Yeah,
But who's to say they don't do that in this? In the live
There's
action
no
version?
reason you can't add. Hey, shit! We watched a movie this week that added like bits of animation in the middle of it for no goddamn reason.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah. But I'm pretty optimistic.
Everybody's a fish.
especially with Steve Lightfoot being added. I didn't necessarily watch.
Sure, he's gritty.
I didn't really watch the Punisher Netflix show, but I've heard it's
Me
really
neither.
good.
I watched like the first episode and I was like, I don't care about the Punisher that much. Although the recent Punisher series by Donny Cates was, I almost said fucking incredible.
I thought that was Jason Aaron.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one with the hand.
Donny Cates was the dude who did the
Cosmic
the-
Ghost Rider.
No, he did
Because
the
Frank Castle's Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Hulk series where he's a spaceship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jason Aaron. That I gotta dredge that up and get those issues to you. We'll talk about it up
Oh,
here.
I know. I know what happens.
I know, but I want to do kind of a segment out of it.
Oh, it's a crazy run. Yeah.
Did you read any of it?
No.
The art.
Shout out to Comic Pop. I watched the
Dude,
back issues episode on
the
it.
art was just insanely
yeah.
good, and it was every month. With books like that, man, you get like 5-6 issues of that artist, and then after that, here's a guest artist for this one because they need time.
Yeah.
No, man, this guy was like making paintings and shit every
I'm
month.
glad you brought up comic books because we're gonna be doing a new topic.
Hey,
I'm excited for.
I don't
Spider-Man.
like
I talk myself into it. I'm in Spider-Man Noir. I'm in.
yeah, so it's fun.
All right. So this next topic, we're gonna be talking about a video on Twitter that kind of went viral in the comic book community.
I knew about that. That's why I did that segue.
Oh yeah, you totally knew.
Segue master.
This is a guy. I'm not gonna share his name or anything
let's not.
because I'm not here to.
We're not doxing
I
people.
don't want to send people to his business. All 4 of our listeners are going to go to this man's business. He was filmed having some criticisms of modern comics, and I don't feel like we should attack this guy
No.
because he's just a business owner.
He's not like the assholes who have their own YouTube channels.
He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's not like kind of a public figure.
Sure.
So I'm not going to trash this guy, but I am going to address what he's saying, and really kind of talk about this because I find it interesting. Where just like Godzilla not being political or not being woke, this guy is telling the truth.
Most of these new writers don't have the love of comics like these older writers had. And all they care about is, how can I put myself in the book? No, we don't care what you would do if you were Iron Man. We don't care who you are. You're writing Tony Stark. You're not writing yourself in a book. If that's the case, write your own comic with you in it. No one will read it because nobody cares. People grew up, are growing up loving Peter Parker, loving Miles Morales, loving all these Captain America. We don't need you to put your input in it. Just write Steve Rogers. Don't write Steve Rogers. What would Steve Rogers be if I was Steve Rogers? That's not how it works. But that's again how most of these new people write nowadays. That's why most of the stuff is shit. Because we don't care what you would do, because we don't care about your life whatsoever. Just write a book, get paid for what you do, get paid for what you're supposed to be doing, and make it a good story. Most of these new writers.
Anyway, that's it. So,
Yeah.
I don't want to make fun of the guy, so that's not. But I kind of just laugh because I wish people would understand how cyclical all this is and how people do this. It's this guy complaining, like
20 years ago, it was the same guy talking about something else.
video games or
Right.
movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Talking about fucking
Dude, all you
Star Wars.
You want to know a perfect
Myself
example?
included.
A perfect example. Nikki Haley has a campaign commercial on right now where she talks about chaos on our campuses, on our college campuses. Motherfucker, politicians have been saying that since the 50s. Like, you're not new with that.
Yeah.
And this guy is not new with this. oh well, and it's like that's fine, but you're the same. You're saying the same shit.
See, that's okay. That's what I want to get at.
Yeah.
Having a character, like having a self insert or putting more of yourself into the character, it's not a bad thing. That's the point. We just talked about it with your brother.
Yep.
With the difference, and we'll talk more about Godzilla later. But when these characters are around for so long, they have to be reinvented, and they get reinvented by different writers. And I hate to break it to you, they're not real.
Yes. And also, sir, I don't know if you know this or not, but Stan Lee was an incredible writer and creator for his time. He wrote some stuff towards the end for like DC and whatnot, and I got to be honest, it wasn't super great compared to what the type of stories we get these days. He was kind of out of his time, if you will.
Stan Lee.
So you wouldn't like comics if they were still written by Stan Lee, is what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. There's this disconnect where they think this is a new idea, and
right, Chris Claremont took
Stan Lee didn't want Gwen Stacy to die because Gwen Stacy is modeled after his wife.
Yes.
Peter Parker is Stan Lee.
Yes.
Like he always had put himself in those characters. And that's the point. That's what you do when you write. I'm not saying you write.
So that's how they started off, dipshit, This guy.
No, I don't want. Again,
I'm sorry.
You're
right.
I've been where that guy's been.
I guess.
But the more I started to really look at these things and understand more things about myself, and understand just the world around me. It's like it's silly to think that like I would get upset about any writer putting themselves in their work, because every writer has been doing that. I do that. You do that. Anybody that does anything creative, you put yourself in the work.
You write what you know, dude. If you
That's
don't,
the whole point of art.
Yes.
And to say that, like, hey, no, do it this way. I understand that. I literally had a come to Jesus moment about that with Spider-Man Noir just a minute ago. Like, you have to let go of that a little bit, because it makes it better. That's silly to think that wouldn't.
I'm almost 50 years old, and all my life I've grown up and with people older than me, just seeming to be like, what the fuck happened to you at some point in your life? Something happened to you that just made, like, I've fought so hard against, in my own head, against being that kids these days kind of fucking mentality, or the music these days, or the TV show. Like,
it's always cringy.
I'm almost 50, and I never want to be that fucking old guy who's like, kids these days. I work with people older than me and people who are younger than me, and they talk about, like, I don't know what's wrong with kids working these days. And I always set them straight. I'm like, motherfucker, that's exactly what your parents said about your generation. So shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to be honest, dude. Like, this, all you're doing is being a cliche. Okay? Just like the politician I talked about a little earlier, all you're doing is being a cliche. And that's fine if you want to do that, but I'm not going to take you seriously, because you're either not smart enough to know you're being a cliche, or you think I'm dumb enough to not notice you're being a cliche. Either way, fuck you. Take your old person opinion and get the fuck out of the fucking way.
We said we weren't going to attack this guy.
I'm not talking about this guy. I'm talking about that kind of mentality, that gatekeeping fucking mentality.
Oh, I used to be like that.
Get the fuck out of the fucking way. The future is coming, whether you like it or not.
Hey,
you can either ride it or get run over by it.
I want to be clear. Everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Fair.
I did it at points. I know you've done it. Like, it's okay.
I have felt it, and I tell myself, shut the fuck up, because I never want to be that guy.
Again,
or that person, I should
literally
say.
had that moment happen.
Yes.
Where in this podcast, where it's like, okay, fine, it's not Peter Parker. Who
I
cares?
don't really care, that it's not Peter Parker.
And it's
like, just, my question is just why, but I'm sure it'll be answered.
And that's another thing, too. I really want to drive this home with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we get the complaints about the Furiosa trailer. Now Mad Max is woke.
We never talked about the Furiosa trailer.
We never did.
Damn it. Dude, fucking
okay,
Thor.
Okay, all right.
And Anya Taylor-Joy.
Hold on. Let's wrap this up, though. I'm using that as a point. That comes out. The new GTA 6 trailer comes out.
Oh,
You're getting to see all these female leads. And Fallout, that trailer got released. There are a lot of trailers come out recently.
there needs to be more shit out though, because we ain't got nothing
that finally
to review.
came out, and there's a woman lead, so there's people saying it's woke, and it's like,
Ugh.
anytime. It's like, this series is now woke. Just like comic books. They've been woke for a long time.
Yeah, dumbass.
They've always been. I hate to break it to you. Anyway.
People are
All
dumb.
right.
So let's move on.
Furiosa trailer. Flying
Dude,
in
you
there.
got Chris fucking Hemsworth,
Dude.
George
Dude.
fucking Miller, Anya fucking
Tyler.
Taylor fucking Joy,
Tyler.
dude.
It's been
Can't
8
stop
years since
swearing.
Fury Road, and my goodness, dude, I was so excited because we're sitting there, and it's like you just see the pan. It's like from director George Miller. I'm like, oh yeah, because I
love that he said mastermind to him about himself.
He did it in the last one.
You know what, dude? You are a fucking mastermind. You're doing what is it? Practical fucking special effects with this shit, and you've always done
You
it.
can only swear
You're
if it's positive.
Sorry, you've always done it, and you're still doing it, and it is effing credible,
But
man.
the fact that we've got the road and then the titles coming at the screen like those other like it's just so and anybody complains about this, and I get it. I'm a hypocrite because I'm like, I hate prequels. There's no point for and then this comes out. I'm like, I have never watched the trailer, and immediately I shit you not, I'm watching on my phone, and I stopped and I go, I have never been so fucking in for a movie in my life.
You want to know?
I hate going to theaters. I will go to the theater to see that movie.
You want to know why a prequel works in this universe? Because George Miller wisely said, no, nobody is putting down a fucking canon of my fucking Mad Max
I'm
universe.
doing it, yeah.
There is none, is his point.
Yeah.
Is Mad Max really in Fury Road? Or is he a fucking figment of somebody's imagination, dude? That's he's like, I'm never gonna tell you. However you interpret it. That's what art is supposed to be.
Just like the Fury Road trailer, it's just enough of what I needed to see. I don't know anything. All I know is like she's trying to get back to her family. I don't know anything about her family. I don't really care. All I'm seeing is what I am seeing on screen.
Is Tom Hardy the feral kid from the second Mad Max? I'm never gonna tell you. I'm never gonna fucking tell you.
Also, there's theories that like Furiosa is his. Somebody said daughter, but I was like, sister? You mean? Because they're about the same age. But
well, just in basic terms of like there. Okay, so it's the Road Warrior, Mad Max.
No, it's Mad Max.
Road Warrior.
Mad Max 2, or in America, the Road Warrior.
Right.
Beyond Thunderdome.
No, there was
Mad
one,
Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Right, and then
Road.
Fury Road. Okay, so
I have them all in a Blu-ray box set that we will talk about someday. You know what?
But he's purposely been vague about what
Mad March.
He's
Mad
been
Max
purposely vague for a reason about when stuff takes place and why. Is it the nuclear holocaust? Well, I'm not going to say. Is it? What is it? I'm not going to say. Because the point of this, that's why a prequel works. A prequel in Star Wars, like Ahsoka and Mandalorian, like those, they've already made movies that are canon that take place 30 years after what you're making now. So Ahsoka and Mandalorian take place around the same, and Boba Fett take place around the same time period, and we've already seen what happens 30 years later, and none of these characters appear. That was the fuck up of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
those prequels are so much better than the shit that you made about 30 years later. It's too late. That shit's canon.
I think
there is no real canon in the Mad Max universe, and that is its brilliance, because we can make a prequel, and no matter what happens in this prequel,
George Miller is the guy that runs it.
I can't look at any fucking Mad Max movie after watching this prequel and go, oh, hey, wait a second, there's a hole in the prequel story or whatever, like people do with Star Wars and shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what else? You know why Star Trek is better than Star Wars? Yeah, I fucking said it. You want to know why? Because Star Trek wisely has been fluid with their canon. They have created different realities so that they can have different things be canon, but not necessarily affect this thing or that thing or that thing. Star Wars has cornered themselves. They backed themselves into a corner without even knowing it. George Miller is a mastermind because He said, "No, I'm never letting any of you pimply-faced nerds with your laptops
Tyler
write
Allen,
fan fiction
Jake Williams.
about my goddamn,
Yeah.
But he never let it happen. He's like, no.
No.
Knock
it off.
I don't know what.
He was gonna. You remember do you ever hear the rumor that he was supposed to do Justice League Dark way back in the day? He was gonna be a director.
Well,
he was attached to it.
He wanted to do a movie right after Fury Road, but there's a bunch of legal crap involved.
Well, and then he did that 1,000 Years of Longing or something. It's a movie about Idris Elba being a sexy genie. I mean, it doesn't necessarily say he's a sexy genie, but I mean, come on, it's Idris Elba. He's a sexy guy.
So if he's playing a genie,
he's a sexy genie, obviously. I mean, come on. Chris Hemsworth is fucking great in this.
Yes,
especially
he's Australian, dude.
And he's like, can you make it epic? Yeah, I was like, what? And you notice, like, did you catch that? Because I'm pretty sure he's wearing a red cape. There's a red flag or something on his car or something. Because at one point I'm like, is that a joke about him being Thor or something?
Maybe.
Because, I don't know.
Hey, Taika is a Kiwi.
Yeah. But the
same area, general
cool
area.
To see. I'm just glad that
most New Zealanders and Australians would kill me for saying something like that. I'm sorry.
I'm just glad that he got this opportunity to do something different and do be a part of a franchise, but be outside of Thor. And the best part is, it's almost assured that he's gonna die at the end. So he's like, I could just go shoot this movie, get a lot of notoriety. I don't have to
do Thor 5,
and then go home and wait for Thor 5 script to get written. And
show
up in Avengers.
One thing that I'm really excited about is, again, these movies are the practical effects. You can't replicate that with
the
CGI.
Music, the shots, like the shot of Hemsworth with the goggles on in the desert, and it's like he's like smiling, got his arms wide open, like Creed, and it's like it's
here, Paul. So
you've never heard a Creed song?
I fucking hate Creed with a fucking
Get out of
passion.
my house and the show.
Scott Stapp is fucking the devil.
Try saying anything. Oh shit! I turned my mic off.
Fuck, Jake sucks. Oh wait.
All right.
No, but
we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, that's
Moving
fine.
on.
But one of the things, like, Australian, like, I don't know, but I know that, like, like,
still on this.
never mind.
You're trying to defend yourself from the Aussies.
I was saying
they won't hurt you.
Kylie Minogue is like an international pop star, but she's like way more beloved in Australia than anywhere else, and that's because she's from there. Okay. And Mad Max, I like to think that Mad Max is something that Australians, the Mad Max franchise is something that Australians are proud of. So I also like to think that Hemsworth, being an Australian actor, getting the chance to be in a Mad Max movie was like, fuck yeah. None of that was necessary.
This episode,
none of that was necessary.
I said, hey, let's try not to swear as much. And here we are. All right.
Well, shit.
How about you do that voodoo that you do so well in that voodoo being kaijus? Let's talk about Godzilla.
My God, did you write that?
Just off the dome.
You're great. You're so good.
Put a beat behind that, man. That's a freestyle. How did that match what I was throwing
I don't
down?
know.
Come on. So, couple topics. Godzilla is really, like, catapulted back into the zeitgeist. So there's a couple things tied to Godzilla that I want to talk about. Of course, we did the special episode with your brother Carter, where we talked about
a lot of fun.
Yeah, we kind of talked about his love for the character, and I want to do more episodes like that where we have someone on that there's one particular thing that they, topic that they, they're an expert. We should. There's a lot of stuff that he could talk to us about stuff that we love, that we could do deep dives with. Yeah,
like comic books.
Yeah, and so the first
yeah.
half of that is that, and then the second half is kind of our review of Godzilla -1.
Fantastic.
Both loved it. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Like it was just.
It's a new movie, but it had such an old feel to it. If that makes sense, like it took place in the past, obviously, like in around the end of World War II, and then the wooden boat that they were using, also kind of lent itself to like, hey, we're watching a movie that was made in the past, even though obviously it was made very recently.
Yeah.
But that kind of age,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like. I mean, it's a new movie that was made and nobody's seen it till it was released, but it still felt like, hey, this is something I'm familiar with. That felt nice too. And Carter's talking about it being like Jaws was very poignant.
Yeah,
it's very close to it.
Well, Carter also he also mentioned that he said it was for the Godzilla franchise what Prey was for Predator.
Yes.
Whereas like this like not complete reimagining, but like a definitely back to its roots. And I think that's resonated really well with an American audience, which I think is good all around. Because going into this, I was thinking about this. I need to watch more foreign movies. And so to see the success of this movie in the United States gives me hope that we are going to see more Japanese movies. Like
have you ever seen the original Old Boy?
No, I've only seen the remake. I've not seen the original.
Who did the remake?
Spike Lee, I think.
And who? Okay. But yeah,
Malcolm Lee or
the original Korean Old Boy was game changer for me. I remember I think I told you that I watched it when Netflix was still sending out DVDs. So back in like I want to say 2007 or 8. But I remember just watching that and just being like, "Holy crap! Like this movie was so good, so good." The hallway fight scene, holy crap! Inimitable.
2013 is when that one came out. I'm trying to figure out who directed it. I don't want to go all the way to IMDb, but I might have to. Point is, Godzilla -1's box office, while it did finish in third place behind
Trolls.
Well, Beyonce's movie,
Oh.
her concert movie, but it still managed to hit 11 million box office. So about 11.5 million is where it was sitting, which is the highest opening for a Japanese movie in the United States, which is really good.
Yeah,
I think more and more people are going to see it. I think this movie is going to have legs. And, it goes back to what we said with Guardians of the Galaxy when it did so well box office. It's like, hey, it's what they've been saying forever. Focus on a really good story. Tell a really good story and people will see it. And yeah, I'm actually really happy for the movie. Like I can't gush enough about how much.
And go listen to the episode with Carter, but I still, one of the things about this movie that did something no other movie has done, it caused me to be terrified when Godzilla was on screen. And I mean, to me, that was like, holy crap. Like, I mean, the creature that they created and put on screen was terrifying. Good Lord. I mean, especially the smaller version. Holy shit. Oops, spoilers. Spoiler, motherfucker.
Wow, we just made... I can't put that in, man. We got to cut that whole segment. I just made a whole big deal at the beginning of the episode about spoiling stuff. No, it's fine. Oh, by the way, Rotten Tomatoes is bullshit. We all know that. But I think it's funny because the critics 97% fresh, audience 98%. Look at that for Godzilla.
So who directed Old Boy?
Spike Lee. It was Spike Lee.
Huh. Who was in it?
Josh Brolin and Elizabeth Olsen.
Ah, okay.
So that's the only version I've seen. And,
yeah, the Korean version is insane. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, the remake is pretty.
I've never seen the remake, so I don't know.
I don't know how much it is, how close it is to the Korean.
What a fucking twist!
Yes, the twist is.
Did they do the same twist?
The twist is the same. Yes. Anyway. Godzilla -1.
Do they have a hallway fight scene in that one?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a long extended one. But
is it any good?
I don't think it's as good as the
Can't
original.
be. The one in the Korean version is like, I remember watching that and being like, I've never seen anything like this. And you
Another
could tell.
foreign movie that I've been meaning to watch forever, The Raid.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch that.
All right.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah, Godzilla -1 again, awesome.
Yay.
It's a good, well, I think it's kind of crazy and good that character still resonates so well.
Yeah.
And
So moving on.
moving on to the next thing about Godzilla, complete opposite.
Oh,
We're talking
fuck.
about the American version of Godzilla.
Well, no. Yes. No.
The Western version.
Oh, yeah. Godzilla X Kong. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
We got like 17 Godzilla things. Holy shit.
I told you, it's some would say a kaiju of news. Kaiju news. Actually, no. The next part we're gonna call the kaiju review. Goodness gracious, kaiju review.
Just go.
Sir, do you do a podcast? No, can't talk. So Godzilla cross Kong. Why'd you let me go? Godzilla cross Kong. The New Empire drops a trailer, which I think I mentioned this. I think I might have mentioned this to a friend of mine. Of course, Warner Brothers and Legendary drop their Godzilla trailer when -1 is out in theaters. That's just smart marketing. Everybody's on that Godzilla high right now.
So I tried to drop that Thor Lego set right around the time that whatever. Right around the time that the first trailer for the first trailer for Love and Thunder came out, and I had the that set, and I was like, ooh.
So you
Didn't work at all for us.
So what did you think of the trailer? I personally loved it.
That guy who was in Eternals is in it again.
Yeah, he
was
was
in
in
the
the last
Godzilla
one.
versus Kong.
Yeah. Oh, and we need to watch.
What's his name?
We need to watch the Monarch show because that's
Yes.
also going on right now too. So Godzilla
Kurt Russell
is
is
all
a
over.
goddamn national. You know what I watched the other
And
day?
his son is the younger version of him. It's genius.
You know what I watched the other day? The Thing. John Carpenter's.
The Thing.
When was the last time you watched that?
It's kind of crazy that they focused on the Rock guy for a movie, right?
What?
The Thing. Of all the Fantastic Four, why did they pick Ben Grimm? You know.
When was the last time you watched that movie?
A while. It's been. We're not talking about The Thing. We're talking about the new.
The
Empire.
movie starts off, and this poor dog is.
Tyler. Jeez. I hate
I
you.
think it looks pretty good. I don't understand what the plot could possibly fucking be about.
It's just a bigger ape.
Great, sure, cool.
Okay.
Bigger monsters. I don't know why Godzilla's pink, but it doesn't bother me.
No, well, they made him woke. That's what happened.
Has anybody been saying that?
Oh, I'm sure there are. I mean, no.
I can just see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, what the hell's
Well, no,
with
but
the pink?
there-
Godzilla's
so
blue
I-
like a boy.
It's like we talked about in the -1 episode where we said that this is what makes Godzilla. This character's been around so long. This is why these two things can exist. Where yes, we can get the traditional Japanese monster movie, and we can get the superhero American version, and both.
Why is he running?
Well, so first of all, let's just take a moment and appreciate that silliness. Like, no other of all the freaking universes, cinematic universes in the world, how did the legendary MonsterVerse manage to say, have the longevity of the MCU? It hasn't been in a studio for 10 years. It hasn't been a thing for 10 years. But they continue to make content. It's got its own spin-off show. It's got this movie and then another movie planned. Because the next movie was going to be Son of Kong, which I guarantee they're setting up in this movie. It's crazy that universe is still going.
I'm surprised they didn't put that trailer. Did it just drop?
It dropped. I think they waited to see how well Godzilla -1's box office
Was it not dropped by Sunday?
I think they didn't put it out until Monday.
Okay, because I was gonna say, why the fuck didn't you put it in front
They
of?
put up posters for it, like here's the little character posters, and they posted it on social media. But they didn't deep throat a Coke bottle over there. Goodness. But I liked it, is because again, it is a little weird because I am not someone that could be like, wow, we're gonna go from this to this, but it is kind of be like, again, kind of interesting to go from -1 to this. But again, I don't think it's gonna deter my feelings for it. I think I'm still gonna enjoy it.
I'm gonna love it for what it is. The
They
Godzilla
running together, like what is that?
Godzilla versus Kong
That was,
was awesome. It was super cool.
Remember
and
we were like, "Hey, Hollow Earth conspiracy theory." Remember
Yeah,
we
well,
complained about that.
I didn't really care about the plot so much. I mean, I don't even really remember what it was because it was big monsters fighting each other, which was cool. But like you said, the thing about the Japanese produced Godzillas and why they're so successful is because they focus on the human story.
And
So I can go and watch Godzilla -1 and be entertained by that and really like that movie because it's more about
it's
the
like-
human
and it's what we
element
said.
than anything with a big monster. And then I can come back to the States and watch Godzilla cross Kong New Empire and be
watch
like,
them
yeah,
run together, like
give me a
somebody-
fucking
Somebody posted a meme with
give me big monsters fighting each other with no humans or
with the
whatever.
gif of Godzilla and King Kong. He's not king yet.
Just
but
doing it.
with Kong running together, and then they quote tweeted it and put Sylvester Stallone and Carl Weathers in fucking Rocky. And you know what? I love it. I love it.
So that'll be
like
fun.
we've talked about, like on our other show, Tinfoil Radio, we joked about like
The Hollow
we
Earth.
we laugh about it because it's like we should be like awarding conspiracy theories, and then I think in that same review we're like, it's also a fucking silly movie. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
I
the
love
kind
that,
of person.
But you're right. I love that movie for what it is.
I suppose the kind of person who would find the
Commit to the stupid.
deep rabbit hole about the Hollow Earth conspiracy and believe it would also believe that a movie that takes place in a Hollow Earth was real. I suppose.
Do you think that Kong is going to be called King Kong by the end of this movie?
I don't fucking know.
He's going to defeat the bigger guy.
He is King. Whatever.
They never recall. They've
Okay.
they've only called him Kong.
Great.
They've only.
See, I'm not even into it that much. I just want to watch big monsters fighting each other. That's awesome.
He's still got his axe from the last movie.
Speaking
Again,
of,
how is this universe keeping up? Like, how is this of all the universes the one that's stuck? You know,
going from really, really excellent versions of the big monsters we know and love
Kaiju review
to one of the better known Godzilla movies from the 70s, 60s, and 70s. But
Yeah, because you thought this would be fun.
it
I want you
was
to know
fun.
This was your idea.
It was fun because I hadn't seen one of those movies in a long time. I grew up with those movies. But when we were doing the review with Carter on Sunday and the deep dive about Godzilla, I didn't realize until we went and saw the movie that you had never seen a Japanese produced Godzilla. So I was like, okay, you need to see what it was like and how cheesy it looks with the lens of today. Like, it's very obviously that those are guys in suits. I'm not saying that anybody was fooled or anything like that. It was pretty obvious. But like that first Godzilla movie, the 50s,
Black and white one.
people were kind of fooled. They didn't know. They were like, how the fuck did you do that? Because, I mean, nobody had done anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the 70s, obviously people know it's a guy in a suit, but they still play it, for whatever. And like when he's swinging him around
Oh
and
my
shit,
gosh, dude! The fight
guys-
scenes are so amazing in
Right.
this movie.
the guys on like strings, like being hung around.
By the way, this is Godzilla versus Hedorah,
Yes. Or
also
the
known as
Smog Monster.
Yes, the Smog Monster.
And I forgot that it was like an art house type of movie. And
Oh man, it is so 70s.
Carter reminded us of that on Sunday because he was saying the Smog Monster. So he mentioned that it was art house before we asked him which one we should see, and he mentioned that one. I'm like, well, we got to see that one.
Yeah.
And that's one that I
course.
found that was free online, and there's a place for those types of Godzilla movies. I remember there was a movie where there was Godzilla had like a kid, and like I can't remember
Oh
his
my
name, but like he
gosh,
blew
yeah,
smoke rings
yeah,
and shit. And I remember like I really liked it when I was a kid, but then I tried to watch it when I was older, and it was like, this is fucking stupid. I can't get as into those Godzilla movies as I used to. But I wanted you to see what it was like because it is something else.
I will tell you this. I think I enjoyed it more than I expected.
The smog monster was pretty neat.
Okay, well that's the thing.
Kept changing like shape and shit.
This one, it dabbles in a little bit of like jump scares.
Yes.
And like, I do like the design of Hedorah. Like, I love the eyes and
creepy,
it's
right?
a creepy looking thing. But I will tell you this: only one of us finished the 86 minutes that this movie is, and it was me. And when I tell you, had I had known,
I had to check my audience score on DistroKid.
Had I had known, I probably wouldn't have. That you didn't finish it, I wouldn't have, because there's 3, maybe 4 times I kept stopping it and being like, "How much of this movie is left?" But then there are moments where I'm like, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun.
Of course,
with it because it's just so insane, and I truly mean, it is one of the most bizarre movies I've ever seen.
They lean into it, like
it is so countercult, like.
Oh yeah, so
such a
anti-government and
late
so
60s, early 70s
oh, yeah.
vibe.
Hey man,
'Cause
hey,
it came out in 71.
This is against the man.
How far of the movie did you get? How far did you really
I
get?
wanna
Because
say-
I want to tell you the second half of this movie is pretty bonkers.
I want to say after, I think they were trying to lure the smog monster back, but it was sunny, and they were like, "No way, he can't come back because it's supposed to be a cloudy day when the smog monster comes, but when Hedorah comes back."
Yeah.
I want to say that it was about 10-20 minutes after their first fight, which was where he shot the atomic blast and he got sparks, and they told the scientists later, they're like, yeah, there were sparks. He's like, well, this is why.
Because of pollution.
Because of pollution. But then they also discovered that he wasn't from this earth.
And they, but did you see the part where, like, the main, like, college age boy...
Yeah, the hipster dude with the...
Did you get to the part where
go-go dancer girlfriend?
Did you get to the part where he had a guitar in the park?
No.
Oh, my... Fuck. Brother.
I am watching that when I get
let
home.
me tell you something.
God damn it.
That dude, there's a whole other musical number in this park.
Is it
And
the,
then
is it the song from the beginning?
I don't think it is. I'm pretty
I
sure
love
it's
how
a
there's no
different song.
Japanese words for like strontium and shit, because she's like dun, 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 strontium, and it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
He
wait a
sings the
second.
song. All these people are in the park like singing together. It's like I could not believe what I was. And then Hedorah and Godzilla show up and start fighting, and then it's okay. We're into the end of the movie. But yeah, they had a whole song. But I think what happened was, fucking Hedorah showed up and like shot his like pollution boogers at him, and took a bunch of them down. And then Godzilla was like, "Those are my people.
those are
And
my
I-
homies."
Hey,
Pollution.
nobody fucks them up but me.
I am the one who
I bully these people.
Hello.
Can we also talk about how every time
We gotta talk
you
about
can tell a guy's in the suit, because, by the way, high definition does not help these movies
no.
at all. Because I watched it
God.
on HBO Max, and it is.
Ah.
But every time Godzilla gets ready to fight, this dude is like pumping himself up.
Yeah, he's like
and
a
like
fighter.
winding up
Yes.
his fist.
And
He's wiping
fucking-
his snout.
Yes.
Amazing.
The kid did it, and they're like, "Are you imitating your hero?"
Yeah.
The only thing I wish.
By the way, shout out to the subs, not dubs. I appreciate it.
Here's the only thing that I wish is that I wish I would have found a dubbed version, because those are even crazier, because they never fit the actors'
yeah.
mouths, and
Because their language is so different than ours.
right, yes, oh my god, it's fucking fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I give it a thumbs up because it was so bizarre. The the whole part where the guy, he looks like he's drinking, but he's clearly high because all of a sudden everybody turns into a fish.
And they're not at a strip club, but there's go-go dancers.
Right, and he's at the foot of one particular go-go dancer who turns out to be his girlfriend. Why are you so depressed? Your girlfriend is the hot dancer at this club.
Because she should only be dancing for one man.
I guess. Maybe that's why.
Also,
whatever, weirdo. Let your woman be herself, man.
People complaining about Godzilla running in that Godzilla and Kong trailer.
Yeah. Didn't he do like push-ups and a dance
you didn't
number?
Finish it. You didn't get to see the final fight.
Didn't he do like push-ups and stuff?
So Godzilla shows up.
I'm so embarrassed.
At one point, Hedorah wins.
Of course.
And knocks Godzilla into this like little crater and covers him in pollution and smog, and it hurts Godzilla for a while, and it burns him because it's like acid rain, whatever. So he does that. You think he's done. Hedorah's doing some damage. Godzilla climbs out of that crater and comes at Hedorah, and he shoots his breath, his atomic breath, into this like billboard thing that like reflects electricity off and shocks Hedorah.
Okay.
And knocks him down, beats him down. But then you think he's got him and he turns into dust. But then the flying version of Hedorah goes out and he's flying past. But then Godzilla says, all right, I got this. And this is why I hit a moment where I'm like, I'm glad Tyler made me watch this, even though he didn't finish it. I did.
Okay.
It's usually me. This is why I got to talk about it. He takes his arms, puts him like again, pumps himself up, like throws his arms to the side, like loosening up, like all right, let's do this, and just goes like that, and uses his breath as a way to propel him towards Hedorah, and in that he gets in front of Hedorah and beats Hedorah down. And I gotta say again, a dude being in the suit, this dude is. He's got Hedorah.
They're like
down.
wrestling movies.
He's got him.
moves.
Yeah. Because at one point he's swinging him around with one leg. He's got Hedorah down, and he is just mollywhopping this dude, just hammer fisting him. And I'm like, Godzilla taking it
Pretty
easy.
sure they do like the. I'm pretty sure he does this a couple times.
And then
the
at one
elbow
point he
drop
like,
and
takes,
shit.
He takes like
The camel clutch.
he takes these two. Yeah, and then Godzilla eventually wins and kills him, and end of smog monster.
Hats off to the production designers for me never being able to decipher where in the Hedorah suit the dude was when there was a dude in that suit. Because there's a couple of like the flying versions you didn't need a dude in the suit. You just put that on a rig.
I liked Hedorah design.
I'm saying there were times when there was a dude in the suit, but the design of the creature was such that you couldn't be like, there's his arms. I could see a foot. You know what I mean? You don't care.
What do you want from me? All right, Tyler.
box?
I gotta confess, I don't really have a long box, but
Do you have a guilty pleasure?
you. He's doing eyebrows. You can't see it.
We can skip him.
Whatever, man.
I'm fine.
One final topic, real fast. So,
Little toy guns
what are they?
that I have painted.
Netflix
Ugh.
is going to have the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, meaning Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, available to play on Netflix, which is really weird. I just wanted to get
Goodbye, Gamefly.
Oh, it's been dead for a while.
Oh,
I feel like.
sad.
Why?
Sad.
Why, Gamefly?
Sad Gamefly, what do you do? Where could you have some eating some pie? Where do you go? Why do you day? Why do you cry, Gamefly?
Why do you cry?
Why do you cry? Day you good day, let the day. Gamefly. Gamefly, don't you cry day, would you pay?
All right, real quick.
You're the one who started that. I
I'm
was just
sorry.
going as
I
long as
thought
you play
about
the
it.
music. Yeah, don't.
I did watch a movie out because my thing is like I watched Die Hard for Die Hard December. I watched Godzilla versus Hedorah for that last segment. I was trying to think, did I watch anything that wasn't related to that? Sabrina, the remake. Watched it with my wife. Harrison Ford's in it. Greg Kinnear's in it. Ashley. She's in it.
Sabrina.
Sabrina. It's based on it's like a remake of a Audrey Hepburn movie. Greg can. Here's the thing. I thought I rolled my eyes too, but then I really bought into the story, And I gotta say, Greg Kinnear is charming as ever. This is 1996. Harrison Ford, he's got the gray hairs, but he's still a good-looking dude. And I mean, come on, it's Harrison Ford. And it is a funny story because I always find it. I was trying to see how long I could riff on that before you
Go for it. I'm genuinely impressed that you're actually remembering this much about this movie.
I never finished it though.
Oh.
So I don't know.
But did you like
if
it?
She ended up with Harrison Ford or not?
Did you like it? What's
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me. It reminds me of the fact that I've only seen only the second half of Notting Hill.
I've never seen either half.
Because here's what happened. Ashley watched the first half and fell asleep, and I came home because I used to work nights. So I came home late, and I caught the second half of it. She watched it again the next night, and I caught it around the same time as I did the night before. Now, I could have rewound, but I treated it like TV, and I just let it go.
Nice. That's something liberating about that sometimes.
Because I miss the idea of like having a movie on TV, just there.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, we can. We don't have to keep this up.
So,
'Cause
my
you do
long
have
box
a
this
long
week.
box, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you the proper.
Why didn't you give yourself
intro.
this honor?
Long.
Feels like you cheated yourself.
I didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like it was real.
Didn't feel like it was real GameFly.
It's a long box.
My long box is recently a movie that I really liked from the summer. Came was it the summer or was it like September?
What?
Dial of Destiny.
This actually, well, I watched it.
When did it come
last
out
weekend.
in the theaters though?
Like
Summer?
around July 4th weekend.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so again, I wanted to see a Indiana Jones movie that took me out of my dull life and a summer tentpole popcorn woohoo movie, and I got exactly that. And I was thinking about it, and it showed up on Disney Plus, and I'm like, cool, let's watch it, because I remember really liking it. But there's something about being able to watch a movie at home. You see it in the theater, and then a couple months later, I remember this part I liked a lot. And this part, and then there's parts that you forgot about, right? So I watched it this past weekend on Disney Plus, and a couple of things that I remembered. The CGI on Harrison Ford at the beginning of the movie is really good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part.
There's a part where they show him around his 50s or 60s, and they just kind of de-age him, and it looks really odd.
Oh yeah,
It's-
the flashbacks.
Yes, the one flashback because basically there's a flashback in the beginning, which is pretty much the first half hour of the movie.
It's the first set piece.
Basically. And then there's another part where they show him finally taking the Archimedes dial from his friend and leaving that house. Leaving the house when she was like 12 years old or whatever. So, it's like however many years before. But so he's de-aged, but not as much. And it's just odd. Like his hair is all fucking weird. But one of the things that I really enjoyed about this movie still, it still holds up. I like it just as much as I did. And I thought the ending of the movie was a lot longer. Like when I watched it again and they show like, the reunion of, who,
You can say it. I said once it gets to streaming, then you can spoil.
yeah, fuck it. But no, Marion shows up again and whatever. And I thought when I was in the theater, and maybe I was just so overtaken by the emotion of it, but it felt like it took a lot longer. I watched it on Sunday, and it's literally like 5 minutes. Not even that. When everybody leaves them
it's
alone
pretty
in the
abru-
apartment.
It feels pretty abrupt.
Right. And then they show the thing, and then he grabs the hat. And it's over. That's it.
I will say I need to watch it again because I was very tired at the time of watching it, so I fell in and out of sleep while I was watching it.
Not a ringing endorsement.
And no, not the movie itself. I was just tired. And my wife was just like, I want to.
They do a
I'm gonna
great
keep
job.
going.
They
And I
do
was
a
like,
great
don't
job.
pause.
Here's what they do. They do a great job. That first set piece, which is again about the first half hour of the movie, they do a good job of having an Indiana Jones action set piece with Harrison Ford, even though he's clearly not doing any of the stunt work and it's all CGI to whatever.
Yeah, and a different person.
Right. But they also do a good job of not shying away from the fact that he's old in the modern day sequences. The first time that he has to fight off Boyd Holbrook's character and those guys, she locks him in the cage in the library, whatever, and he has to like break out or whatever. It's very.
Remember when the horse in the subway, or is that?
That's the start of that sequence.
Yes,
in the library before they leave that building. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
got the dial and she locks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he has to push something over to get them, whatever, and then at another point he has to like put something in front of Boyd Holbrook's character to stop him. And there's a couple times where you're like, ugh, that doesn't look good. But then you're like, it's
Yeah, there's
supposed to. He's 70. He's like 80. So
Yeah,
they do a
but
good job of giving us that Indiana Jones in the beginning and then going, hey, this is the Indiana Jones you're going to get now.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed this movie. I did not enjoy it as much as you
Fuck
did.
you.
Wow.
Why not?
I just...
You didn't grow up with Indiana Jones.
No,
You never
it's
wrote a
just-
song about Indiana Jones like I have either.
Indiana Jones is too old. I just... Like that what you just described is one of the issues I have with the movie. It's like... I feel like he got the closure he really needed after that third movie. And these other two movies, I don't know. I don't think they're bad like other people. Like, I don't fucking hate it. But I just feel like, I don't know.
There's not a lot of people who I like really like.
It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay.
If I like a movie and my brother does too, I know that it's a good movie.
Oh, so you don't like... So my opinion doesn't matter to you. I get it.
You are right up there, but again, my brother and I grew up with
Again, I'm glad
Indiana
you
Jones.
like it.
He had
You
to
liked it
walk
more than I
me
did.
out of the fucking theater during Temple of Doom when they took that guy's heart out because I was so fucking scared,
Yeah.
So my brother and I kind of have a personal connection with that, and my thinking was, this is how I feel about the movie. And then when I knew that he felt the same way, it was like, okay, cool. Not that I would have changed my opinion, but it's nice to know that like I enjoyed it, and so does somebody who
Yeah.
really cares about that stuff also. Like, we both enjoyed it.
All right, Tyler. I think it's time.
Time to leave?
Yeah. Get out of my house. Get out of my basement.
You should have just stopped it there. Get out of my house, click.
Oh, so you're the judge of comedy? God help us.
Think of the fucking comedy, Jake. Don't play this song. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.